What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's the 18th of June, and here we are at about $104.5 thousand. I feel like what we have here, you guys, and I feel silly for not seeing it earlier. I think we are in a diamond top pattern. I really do think that that's what's happening. So if that's true, today should be a green day, tomorrow should be a red. Like we're just going to tighten up this range until we're right at the point there, right? Just like that. We've got this over here, that same kind of point right there. It's a diamond top pattern. You might be looking at that and saying, that's an ugly pattern right there. Yes, diamond tops are actually very, very ugly patterns. They're known for volatility too. And this deep kind of V in the middle, it's a little bit odd, but I think this is a diamond top pattern actually. And in which case we just found support at the bottom. We're a little bit traumatized. We're a little bit traumatized from the last diamond top. I feel like diamond tops have a bad rap in the Bitcoin, in the crypto space, right? This last diamond top, this one was ugly too, man. Right? Look at this here. Look at this here, right? Diamond. It was the diamond top, and I'm not drawing it perfectly, but you can kind of see what I'm going for there. That one broke out to the downside. Diamond tops do not have to break out to the downside. They can break out to the upside. It's like a neutral pattern inherently. They're just as likely to break out to the upside as they are to the downside, honestly. And also are notorious for fake outs. So even if we do break out, we can fake out and then come back up to the upside. Or if we break out to the upside, pay attention, we could fake out. Just because we break out doesn't mean we'll fake out, but you never know. You never know, man. We're at $104.4 thousand right now, 23 hours, 27 minutes left in the day here. Daily RSI is not looking friendly, I must admit. The price action is not looking friendly either. I feel like we're looking death in the face right now. Bearish engulfing candle, volume coming in and all that stuff. I think today's going to be a good day, though. We shall move up. And yes, the haters will have the final laugh because no, we did not see new all-time highs yesterday, and the likelihood that we see all-time highs today is probably not there. In fact, the likelihood that we just kind of consolidate going into next week is even there, and then maybe next week, ending the month, we should have this end of month rally that we've long been anticipating. Every week that goes by where we're just still in this range, I'm absolutely amazed, man. I mean, last week we looked like we were breaking out, we came back down. This week we looked like we were breaking out, we came back down. The week before that we were going down and we came back up. Like it's just we can't catch a break. We've been in this range really now since May 8th, and here it is a whole month and a half later, almost, that we've been in this range. Bitcoin will break out sooner or later. And I do suspect that by the end of the month, we should be rallying to new all-time highs. Unfortunately, it didn't happen as fast as I thought it would, but that's okay, man. Sometimes taking it slow is the way to go. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom back out from here, okay? So looking at the 1 hour, we're on the index. Let's get on Coinbase. Coinbase here, dropping it low with a lot of volume, and then at your low, having some volume come in, right? A little bit of a sell-off on that 1 hour candle. The index paints a different picture, doesn't it? The index makes it look like it's this kind of glorious run up with volume here, but I don't know if that's appropriate. Let's look at the Binance chart, maybe Binance USDT. What do we got here? Yeah, less volume even. So I don't know where that index is getting its volume representation from, because Binance doesn't look like that, Coinbase doesn't look like that. Those are the two biggest exchanges for Bitcoin in the world, so I don't get it. But here we are, moving up, finding resistance there. What is that on the fibs here from a high to a low? Right there at the 382, just missing the 382. It's actually not a good look. In all honesty, that's really not a good look. That might imply that we go lower from here first before we go higher. I wouldn't be surprised if we had some kind of a double bottom or a higher low, something like that. But something, maybe a 1 hour that closes below this, we'll get some bullish divergence and then we'll move up. Or just slowly but surely take this bearish look away and just kind of climb higher going into the day, and then we should see some kind of recovery. Again, I do think that we are in some kind of diamond top pattern, potentially. We'll see. It does look, whether you want to accept it as a diamond top or not, it does look like we have ascending lows here, descending highs here, and in this kind of channel, you might expect that we go up here, whatever, do something like that before breaking out. Likely consolidating into the weekend, right? The focal point or the apex point here would be Monday next week. So it's very likely that we're just going to be boring between now. Very boring between now and then. Maybe the market's waiting for things to calm down around the world before we move up. I don't know. Maybe we're waiting for the FOMC meeting tomorrow. Regardless of of what the news is, I don't think that we're going to get anything crazy happening. I think that we'll be chilling. If we do move up if we do look to break out and see some action tomorrow, I would want to see us get above about probably $110,000. If we can manage to get above $110,000, I'd say it's game on at that point. But if we're at any prices less than that, I don't care, man. Even if we wick a little bit higher than that, I'm not going to get bullish on it until we're closing multiple 4-hour time frames above 110K. I'm just going to keep my bullish expectations on hold. I'm definitely keeping my bearish expectations on hold. I don't think that we're going lower, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. Looking at the 4-hour RSI, very volatile. Absolutely, it's volatile, right? Getting oversold, getting overbought, oversold, overbought like that, just super volatile. We're not getting oversold here, which is nice to see. We're actually in an area that you might expect to find support, right? We found support here twice, found support here twice. A little bit of resistance right there just for a little bit. It's not that every single time we're here we find resistance or support, but a good bit of the time we do, actually. Good bit of the time we do. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we started moving up here. I got to admit, on the 1-hour time frame, it looks rather convincing that we would go down, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think Bitcoin's being tricky here, right? It's been tricky throughout this whole range, so the fact that it almost looks like it wants to go down on the 1-hour makes me want to say it's going to go up. 4-hour time frame does look like it wants to go up, being fair. You do have lower lows in the price while maintaining higher lows in the RSI, right at that area that you'd like to bounce from, right? What's this from a low to a high? Golden ratio, double bottom. Hey, that's nice. That's actually a good look. Look at that too, man. We closed right at the golden ratio. I think that is nice, yeah. Again, I might even redact. Maybe we don't have to wait for 110K. Maybe this is what we need to see, right? We need to get something above about $108.1 thousand. If we can get 2 4-hour candles to close above there, I think that would validate that we're breaking out. So never mind, maybe not 110K. I think that 236 would be significant. We're showing significance at the golden ratio once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, whatever, showing direct significance at it on closing points right here. I think this 236 is important. We get above 108.1, let's say 108.2, get up a little bit above there, closing above there for multiple 4-hour candles. I think that would be good enough to suggest that we're going higher. Maybe there is still hope for this week. It is Wednesday. We've got a whole 5 days left in the week here. 4 days, 23 hours, 21 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we bounce here and today was a green day, right? And if it's not a green day, we're at least going to wick up, find a lower high, and then come back down by the end of the day or something like that. But I do expect we'll kind of refine this, tighten up a little bit as we're going into next week, and then break out one way or the other. When we break out, we should be seeing volume come in. All in all, I think we're just going to be ranging for the next 5 days or so. It's probably going to be boring, which is sad to say. I just want this thing to rip already, or at least dip, drop, get some kind of excitement, some price movement. I don't care, drop, man. We can buy more. But I am thinking we'll go to the upside. The expectation is that we're going to see new all-time highs. From a high to a low here. Hanging out, consolidating like this, I got to say, looking at the 886, we've closed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if we can close above $104.6 thousand this week in the next 5 days, if we can do that, that'll be 6 weeks in a row we've closed above the 886. Why aren't we moving higher? We should be moving higher. This is everything about this says we should be moving higher. So why don't we? We should be moving higher. Again, every week that we close red is undesirable because as we close red weeks, we get away from this overbought zone. Every week we close green is desirable because then we inch closer to the overbought zone. We want to get the weekly RSI into the overbought zone because at that point, it's undeniable that we're going to continue to grow. And it's no mistake that we're finding turbulence here right now. What we don't want to see is a rejection off this area because, again, if this is some kind of diamond top pattern, if that's what we have here, and we break out to the downside, it's very possible that we drop down to about 95, 94K. In fact, I wonder, what would that be? What would the measure move be? Just so you know, with diamond tops, you measure from the low to the high of the pattern, right? Let's just say it is, or the high to the low. And if the breakout point, let's use straight lines to try and draw this. Maybe out over here, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, I'm going to draw it like that. But there's price outside of it. That's how you know it's a diamond pattern, actually. Diamond patterns are notorious for having price outside of it. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's this, though. I doubt that it's being respected this way because that's only 2 interactions. I think that the other line would actually make more sense, but let's just take it from both ends. So at that breakout point, wherever it could be, it's probably not going to be at the apex. It'll be beforehand. If we were to break out, that would call for prices below 95K if it were to be the lower trend line. Or I guess it doesn't matter, higher trend line or not. It actually doesn't matter because we're just looking for the lower one anyway. So, in all fairness, yeah, 95 to 94K, 96K, that would be the area that you target from a low to a high. I mean, that's right there at our 382. Typically with the 382, you expect to go a little bit below it on your first interaction, so that could happen. That really could happen. I'm not calling for that. Just understand that's not the call. But if we were to break out of this diamond pattern, that would be the measure move, in all fairness. Dip down there, break out, and then move higher. We did move down on the last diamond pattern, to be completely fair. I am expecting that we'll move up higher. Even if we move down to 95, 94K, 96K, whatever it is, from there, we might not have an end of month rally. It might be an end of month dump, but then from there, we should be recovering and going higher into July. We're on the precipice, my friends, of seeing new all-time highs one way or another, and I think we're being tested, all of us, right? If you can withstand, if you can hold, if you can keep your money in the markets without panic selling or selling for any kind of needs that you might have in the real world, you'll be rewarded, but you have to wait. You have to wait, man. The hardest thing, people think the hardest thing in markets is to watch the price go down, but that's not true, right? It's actually harder to do this kind of stuff, to move sideways week after week after week. It's much more trying. That volatility, that boredom, that excitement going both ways, getting you encouraged and then discouraged all in the same day. That's the kind of stuff that really makes people falter. Don't falter. Hold strong. We're going to see new highs in a matter of days or weeks at this point, but my expectation is that we will not break out to the downside. I do think we'll break out to the upside. I want to look at some other indicators real quick and we'll wrap this up, okay? Let's see. Yes. MACD's gaining bearish momentum. Well, we don't need all these. Hold on. I really need to fix this. We don't need all that. Can I save this? Is there a way to save it? Save indicator template as. Oh, fuck it. We'll do this. I'll do it later. What is it? It's the RSI, stochastics, and MSR, RSM. RSM sounds better. We'll just do that. RSM. We'll just do that. Save. Because then I don't have to adjust this stuff anymore. The MACD is building bearish momentum, and that would make me think we start going lower, but your oscillators are also very close to the zero line here, in which case you could find support, and at this rate you would expect to find support probably late this week or early next week, finding support and then moving up. That's actually a very bullish thing in itself. And you don't need to keep moving down for the oscillators to continue to move down either, right? Like today's a green day, and we still have momentum building to the downside, so it doesn't work like that necessarily. Stochastics would suggest that we go lower. The RSI looks like we would go lower too, so I don't know. I feel like we're defying logic here, defying gravity with the idea of this diamond top pattern here. However it looks, whatever. We're at the base. We really are we're pretty mature in this pattern. It could be that we break out. Understand, if we do break out, if we do see prices below this imaginary diagonal trend line here, if that does happen today, understand that this typically is the area that Bitcoin likes to find support. It's right when it breaks these diagonal lines. And on top of that, diamond patterns are notorious for breaking out one direction and throwing back the other direction, right? High volatility moves. So don't count your chickens before they hatch. Even if we do break out, diamond patterns can be tricky. And that's kind of the nature of it, right? Like if you're looking at it, it's a very volatile pattern. That's kind of the nature of it. It's volatile inside, it's volatile outside as well. High velocity, though, whenever you're on the outside. 104.7K now. I'm sticking with the upside call. I don't think we're going to break out to the downside, at least not today. I think we will move back up to about $107,000, maybe even $108,000. If we can get and close above, was it this one here? Yeah, if we can close above $108,200, I would think that we're moving up. I would think, to me, that would do it. That solidifies the idea that this is the low and that we're moving up. But we still have to wait, right? Because diamond patterns are notorious for breaking out and then pulling back. So we have to wait and see if we get confirmation. Confirmation in the form of new all-time highs would do it for me. All right. A little bit exciting if we get above 108.2K, but very exciting once we're at new all-time highs. Time will tell. Let's look at the weekly time frame real quick. Weekly MACD is bullish but chilling. Stochastics are crossed down. Depending on how this week closes, though, they might cross back up, actually. And then the weekly RSI, rejecting off the overbought zone, typically you do expect to go to the 50 or lower and bounce. But I have a feeling, I mean, this is not typical behavior, what we've done over the past few weeks, just moving sideways like this. This is not typical behavior of a rejection on the overbought zone. So as statistically improbable as it might be, I wouldn't be surprised if we turned around and started getting into that overbought zone. This doesn't look bullish, but I'm justifying the bullish case there, right? When you reject the overbought zone, that's what it looks like, right? You reject the overbought zone, that's what it looks like, right? It looks like this. It looks like this, but it doesn't stop here. It continues, right? Well, we're continuing now, but not at a fast pace. That's my whole point. That's what it looks like. And sometimes, look, here you didn't go to the 50. Sometimes you do find support at higher areas. It happens. There's not really too many times in Bitcoin's history that it's rejected the overbought zone, though. So, yeah, my expectation here, $104.6 thousand. We're looking for a green day today. I think we will get a green day today. Stochastics look like they want to move up. RSI wrestling with the zero line. I think it wants to come up. So the 4-hour RSI actually looks good. We didn't look at the 4-hour time frame because this actually does look good. I would have said that if I'd seen this. The 40, we're at that area to bounce. All good things. All good things on the 4-hour actually. But definitely volatile. Definitely volatile. So what I would expect by the end of today is 107 to 108K. We're at 104K now. I'm not expecting that we break out to the upside today, but if we do, that's great. Anytime we do that, that's great. At this point in time, I'm thinking it's either going to be over the weekend or sometime next week, early next week, that we break out one way or the other, and we'll see how that goes. If we go down, 94 to 96K will likely hold as support. If we go up, well, we're touching 120 to 140K by the end of the month. That's the expectation. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.